Good afternoon and welcome again to the Soca-Sofa. I'm Richard Blacklove and today we've got a special treat for me and for all of you at home. On the sofa next to me is Mr. Martin J, aka the Soca Prince, a warrior for soca music, for this Caribbean art for how long now?
26, 27 years.
Sure. 19, what year did you start? Can you remember?
As Martin J or before that?
Well, yeah, because that's a story in itself, isn't it?
Okay, so let me give you a quick introduction.
Yeah.
In about 1987, 88, I started to work on pirate radio, but I started playing rare groove and revival music.
All right.
One day there was a soca DJ, in fact, Smokey Joe, who had to go over to Trinidad.
Yeah.
And so the boss of the radio station said, Crazy, which was my name at the time, I need you to come and do this show. And so I did the show on a Saturday afternoon for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And after that, he said, you need your own soca show. And that was the start of me being a Prince of Soca. And at that time, I was 17, 18 years old. And that's where the Prince of Soca tag came from. And it's still with me.
Why not the King, though?
Because I always wanted to aspire to be someone better. And so the Prince of Soca stayed with me. So that every day that I wake up, I would aspire to be the king. I would try and do something more to be better than I was yesterday. And I actually tattooed the Prince of Soca on my arm so that it'd stay with me forever.
All right. An indelible reminder of the mission.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, just for you, just going back to when you've covered for Smokey. So you're playing R&B, you're playing a different genre altogether, but soca, so why stick with it? Because that's 1989, right? Or 1990. There was a lot of more money in the other genres for sure. The parties that going on.
It wasn't about money. I think the majority of the DJs that you speak to will tell you that it's never about money. When I started DJing, it's about the love of picking up a record and sharing it with someone. Why did I choose soca? That was more of a career move for me. In 1989, there were a lot of rare groove DJs, there were a lot of revival DJs, but there were very few soca DJs. There were very few soca DJs my age. And I loved radio. Yeah. I loved the fact of constructing a program, be it a 1 hour program or a 2 hour program. I loved that. I loved the fact that I had to talk to somebody that wasn't there. Yeah. And so I strategically said, there's a gap here. All right, I can fill it, and that's what I did. I started to make soca music my main music, but once I've made it my main music and I started to want to learn more about it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's when the love affair just turned into something huge.
Oh my God, and that affair did go on to a lot, because that was just second radio station. So I'm not sure. So let's see, that's 1989, and then what happened after that? Because you were still Crazy. What was
it was Crazy MD.
Yeah, Crazy MD.
I started on a radio station called Pioneer. Yeah. That turned to West London Radio, WLR. That's where the station where I started playing soca music. Yeah. And then WLR came off the air for a little while. The period between 1989 and 1990 was huge for everybody in this country. Yeah. In terms, pirate stations were being told, if you get caught, you're banned for life. Yeah. They were trying to really put the frighteners on you. And of course we had these new radio stations coming out, like WNK, like Choice FM, and Kiss. And Choice was the one that suited me the most. Yeah. And that was the one that I went after. I had people like Daddy Ernie there that were able to support me, nudge the managing director and say, oh, you should have a look at this young man. And that was it.
So it was Daddy Ernie that kind of helped out a little bit there in getting your tape through the door.
Yeah, Daddy Ernie and Smokey Joe, as two elders in the business, were two people that have to this day always supported me. What actually got me my show on Choice was the fact that the Daily Mirror decided they were going to sponsor Choice in their first year. So in their first 4 months of operation, this major newspapers come to them and said, look, here's a whole heap of money. I need you to put together some carnival package.
Yeah.
And obviously Choice are going, okay, we know very little about Carnival. Who can we get to help us? And then one day my managing director rang me and he goes, listen, we need to create a Carnival schedule.
Yeah. So
that we can put it in part of our package to deliver for the Daily Mirror. And we had car stickers, every day's a Carnival with Choice.
And there was maps they were giving out on the road that year as well. Yeah. I remember all of this with my young self.
And so I drove up to Brixton that night. I gave them a Carnival schedule. They were interviewing Arrow on the Monday. They were interviewing Burning Flames on the Tuesday. They were interviewing Baron on the Wednesday. They were interviewing Peppy Francis on the Thursday. I'd laid it all out for them. I'd done all of this in 24 hours. I'd got some soca songs together.
Yeah.
I put it into a schedule. I said, look, you only got to play one every 3 hours and that'll be enough for the listeners. And my boss was so impressed that at the end of it, he said, how much money do you want? I said, I don't want money, I want a show. I've been sending you demo tapes for the last 2 months. I want a show.
Take the opportunity. Take the opportunity. I like it.
Based on what I did for that Carnival,
yeah,
he then committed himself to saying, let's start getting you ready for being on air. And then on September the 30th, 1990, at 8 p.m. was when the Caribbean Affair started.
How did that feel, man? First, you've done all this work to get the show and that, you're in there. Nothing's playing yet, but you're about to. How did that feel?
It's like driving a car. Doing your first radio show, it's like driving a car, because when you can't drive,
yeah,
and you're thinking about sitting down in this car and what if there's an accident and what if I hit another car? Do you know what I mean? What if someone runs in front of the car? You know, when you get in that car, you hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You do something, you react.
That's right.
And so all the like nightmares that you have of, oh, what if the record jumps? Because remember, them days were playing vinyl, yeah? What if the record jumps? What? All these whats.
Something.
When you're on air, you just, let's get on with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Let's do it. And I've had so much fun doing it. So much fun.
Oh, that's excellent stuff. Your first show though, what was do you remember the first song you played?
Yeah.
What was it?
Let the Music Play by the Mighty Sparrow. I think that as a DJ, you should be able to tell a story at any given time.
Yeah.
Give you a very quick example. My granddaughter is 1 year old.
God bless her.
The song that I chose to put with her video, a compilation of her pictures and that, was Lady of Magic by Bunny Maloney. A song that she's never heard, a revival tune from 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Why did I pick that tune? Because the first lines were, you came along when I was down. Do you know what I mean? You're my Lady of Magic.
God bless.
So she can relate to the lyrics of that song.
Yeah.
When she's 20 years old, she could be able to relate to it. And that's what you must be able to do. And so I'd gone through, should I play Sugar Boom Boom? Should I play Lorraine? And then I started to, scroll through my records. I looked at the Sparrow records and I said, I've got to play a big artist.
Yeah.
It can't, you know what I mean? I can't start off with...
Can't be small, not on the first.
And then Let the Music Play just stood out to me. And then when I played it to myself and I listened to the words...
No music so bright and happy. Was it no music so bright and happy, so bright and snappy, so magnifique.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we read. So yeah.
And that I interviewed Sparrow on my 25th anniversary. Right. And just to be able to say to him, King, I played that song 25 years ago at 2 minutes past 8 when the news finished. That was the song that started my career, and I think I picked the right record.
I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you did, because 27 years later we're still here. We're still tuned in. Simple as that. Brilliant stuff, man.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, for moving on from there. So your shows, that's it. Your fair has begun. We're all locked in. But along with the shows, there was the other thing. With the music comes the actual physical part, the parties, the masquerade, the involvement with Carnival, which you'd already been doing.
Yep.
So you've done something for those got for choice in order to get in there for giving their schedule and everything. What was your involvement with Carnival and the actual artists and music thereafter that?
Okay, so growing up, Carnival was that time where you used to beg your mum and dad to take you down to Lover Grove.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
that.
When you didn't grow up in the area of Notting Hill, you know, it was a big thing. You know, you'd be there in the suburbs of Ealing, and you just want to be part of that noise, that din. I then started to get involved in a carnival band via a school friend of mine.
Yeah.
I wore a big, massive costume. And then the name of the band was Flyover Carnival Club.
Flyover Carnival.
Once I'd started on Choice, so obviously soca music is the embryo of Carnival.
Yes.
Without the music, it's the engine that drives it.
That's it.
And without that, you haven't got a carnival.
No, that's right.
And so me being a DJ, I felt that I was a serviceman. You know, whatever I delivered to you as a person that was wearing a costume, a masquerader, it was my job to make sure that you enjoyed your experience.
Excellent.
And that, you know, is how I've always seen and accepted my role in Carnival. And I worked for Coquier for a number of years.
I recall.
And then from Coquier, I went on to Borough Keats.
Yeah.
And then from Borough Keats, I moved on to make up my own mass band, which is Fanatic Mass.
Yeah, and you know what? The last two bands, the launch parties, okay, for the uninitiated, which is who we're aiming this at, every carnival band where the people dress up in costume, they do that whole thing to introduce the bands, to also to raise funds as well, and just to let you know what you're going to buy before you join the band. Well, the parties were epic. They were definitely epic.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fun to be had there. I'm not sure how far I can go on camera about these with it. I don't know what. Can we get in there? All right, but that was.
Yeah.
We can get in it. All right, cool. I just remember Borough Keats. Like it didn't matter. I barely jumped in that band. But what I knew, there were a lot of people who were playing when Poison UK was bigger over here and everything. Whatever band you're in, you just come down and join the party, and that spirit of. And that's something I'm not sure is still there, the way that other bands would go to other band launches and support. And I suppose with how things are today, it kind of makes you think about something that was going on in a debate on Facebook a few days ago about it would just pose, what do you like about Carnival, what you dislike about Carnival, in a constructive way sort of thing. And I would have said for my thing, that spirit of cooperation isn't quite there. What you'll say?
Yeah, when you talk about the carnival community, and I think it's like many other things in life, when you compare it to years ago, you know, you start to look on it with a frown. And you know, I saw the same post on Facebook about what do you like about Carnival, what don't you like about Carnival. You know, years ago, mass bands didn't have to think about security firms.
No.
Mass bands didn't have to think about providing any kind of beverages for their masqueraders. All we needed to do was give you a costume and play music for you on the road. Yeah? The evolution of Carnival has meant that the mass bands have now had to provide an experience for you, and that takes planning, and it takes preparation, and it takes money,
and all this on top of preparing the costumes
and sometimes you know you're going to lose part of the goodness when you're trying to do something else. It's just the way it works, you know. If you're hungry now, you're going to find something you can stick in the microwave.
100%.
If I can put a pot on the fire, I guarantee you that dish is going to taste 10 times better than whatever you're going to put in the microwave.
Yeah, it will. But time.
That's the fight that everyone has at the moment. There isn't enough connection between traditional Carnival, the way we used to do it, and what it's becoming now. And there's a gap in there, and I really, really worry about Carnival in this country.
Yeah,
I really worry about it.
I'm with you there. Sorry, Garvey.
Can I just chime in? Before we started shooting, you began something that you had to stop and continue in with the words, if Carnival and Soca is going to survive. Could you follow up on where you was going?
Okay, so...
To newcomers like me.
Yeah.
If Carnival, especially, is going to survive in this country, we need to... Everyone involved in it needs to have a greater respect for what it is.
Yeah.
That includes the mass bands, it includes the authorities, it includes the organisation. But I've always said this, I've been fighting this for a long time, that there's not enough money spent on trying to get people that don't know about Carnival to come and join a mass band.
100%.
Yeah.
This is 100%.
No matter how much marketing I do as a mass band, I don't have the resources to go national and tell people that have never been involved in a Carnival band that all they've got to do is go on our website, have a look at a costume, find out what size they are, and order their costume.
And it's as simple as that with every other band. It's as simple as that.
Every other band.
So, as someone who's never masqueraded, can you tell me exactly what do I have to do, Martin? So what do people who don't even think they're allowed to take part, what do they do?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Go to my website, www.fanaticmask.com. Right, at a particular time of the year, especially after the 1st of April this year, because that's when we launch, you'll see our new costume designs. There'll be about 5 different sections. You pick whichever one you like. It might be because of the style of the bikini, it might be because of the colours that are used in it, it just might be the way you're feeling that costume. When you click on that section, it will ask you for your bra size, it will ask you for your short size, it will ask you for your waist size. You'll put all those measurements down, you'll send it to us. That will be your way of registering your interest to wear a costume with us. Now, the money that you pay, it varies with different bands, but you get a full experience. Some of them will offer breakfast, lunch, beverages, and I'm using the word beverages because we've all got to understand we've got to come away from trying to rope people in by using strong drink, because the authorities are not going to have it at some point.
What about people like me who are not good dancers? Do you have to look like a model? What if you're white?
All of that.
Okay. No. In my band, there's no rules. There's no dance formation. There's no rules. You just come in and you're part of the band. You move however you want to move to the music. Carnival is a freedom of expression. There are no rules. Once you come with us, you look at what the next. Lord Kitchener had a song. It was about Juve morning, but I'm going to give you the words of the song. It says, come in town Juve morning, find yourself in a band. Come in town Juve morning, find yourself in a band. Watch how the natives are moving, hug up tight with a man. Swing along to the sounds they're playing, and every now and again do something. Play Mass Bacchanal, Miss Tourist. That is Carnival. Now that was Lord Kitchener's advice to an English tourist woman.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that, everybody?
Did you hear
Hug up to a man. Join Carnival to hug up to a man. Okay, I'm going. I'm going.
And if you don't understand what hug up to a man means, I'm sure we can show you later.
So going to my original point, I think that a lot of money could have been used over the years to say, look, we're the governing body of Carnival, We have access to over 100 and something bands that we can direct you. If you want one that's in Lewisham, we'll point out the nearest band to you. If you want one in Luton, we'll point out a band to you. And just for you to get, your initial foot into Carnival, I think that they should have spent a lot more money in trying to get people from outside of the Caribbean community, rather than all the bands trying to fight for your money.
Same people, same people. Maybe, and they bring a friend or a cousin.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
Sticking with the same and not going further.
Why hasn't there been advertised?
That's a question I can't answer. I don't know why it hasn't been done. But I've always believed in participate rather than spectate. It's just,
get
and
involved.
I think so much more people would have fun. I think we need to take the numbers off the sidewalk and put them on the road.
Yes.
The sidewalk is what causes all the problems. It's what causes all the security issues.
Yep.
It's what causes all the fighting. You know, I don't think there's ever been a case of you hearing that someone in a costume has been arrested. Do you know what I mean? It's always on the sidewalk. And if you crowd up too many people, you're going to get that. Remember, I'm on a truck. I'm like 20 foot up in the air. I can see some terrible, terrible sights. Scary sights.
We were filming their last carnival ourselves, and it got a bit hectic, didn't it? It got a bit hectic down there.
I think that, you know, those are the things that need to be dealt with for it to survive. That is why Carnival is in the dangerous position that it's in now. And it's an amazing festival. There's nothing like it in this country.
I see it every year. Any carnival I've been to, you see the carnival virgins, whether it's here, Trinidad, or it's Barbados. We had some carnival virgins, and it just, you see the change. They get there and it's like, I didn't know that something like this existed, and they just lose, and that's it. You see them going to everything. They come back, they go to all the parties, they support with their money, with themselves, with their presence, and they just talk about it to everyone.
Yeah.
Now, if they were doing that, that's what the individuals that take their time and go. But if you just put that reach out, you know, those guys in Essex that are amazed about it, I'll talk to them about it at work, and they'll, oh yeah, it's brilliant what you do, Rich, but yeah, how do I do that? And they don't think they can get involved, but of course they can get involved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of the carnival that we have in England. Despite me saying that it's in a dangerous position, it's still, I would say, one of the top 4 carnivals in the world. You know, and that's a big statement to make. Yeah, being one of the top 4 carnivals in the world.
Because who are you putting above that? Who are you putting above us? And I'll say us because it's our carnival. But so we're here in Notting Hill. Trinidad's up there. Who's the 2 above in your opinion?
Say that again.
As in the two. So we're number 4.
Yeah.
So who's number 1? Who's number 2?
You weren't
who's number 3? I know. I had to go ask.
I think that Trinidad and Brazil have to be the 2 biggest carnivals in the world.
Yeah.
And in my statement, what I should have said was carnivals from cities, because if you start to, you know, pick the Caribbean island carnivals, there's greatnesses about them all.
Oh God, yeah. And
but Washington, New York, Toronto, all those big cities that have got huge carnival communities, you know, the guys that come over from there and go, King, don't worry, man, London still have it. And I want to keep that, you know. I want to keep that. I myself and my wife are involved in my carnival band. We argue throughout the year. Yeah, we get to that point where it's almost, I think I need to see a solicitor, you know. But that day, when Carnival finishes, like the Tuesday after Carnival Monday in London, your body's sore. Winter's almost started already. Just a start reminder that, you know, you only get a short summer.
Oh yeah.
It's always cold the day after Carnival.
It's the end of summer for me.
Yeah, and you're at home and you're looking at each other, and then someone posts a couple of pictures on Facebook, and you say, we did that. Yeah. We helped create that. Yeah. And you know, the whole solicitor talk dies down for another year, and you hug each other up and you just think to yourself, let's do it all over again. Yeah. It's magic. It is magic, but we need to nurture it. It is a special magic.
Can I chime in? So,
go for it.
Would you be able to tell people in your own words what Carnival is, in your own opinion and from your knowledge? Because a lot of people don't know.
You mean the origins of Carnival? Yeah. Okay, so the origins of Carnival was a meat-eating festival in slavery days, hence the word carnival, and it was a time when the slaves would dress up as their slave masters and mock them in their own tongue. And so the slave masters would be around, but they wouldn't know that they was actually mocking them. So they'd be dancing around, you know, the fire pit where they were cooking food, and they'd be singing songs about the slave and the slave master, and that would be their time. It was 2 days before Lent, which is why Trinidad Carnival in Brazil moves all the time. It's always 2 days before Ash Wednesday. And then you go into a Lenten period where you give up all of that. You give up drinking, you give up meat.
Goodbye to all the flesh,
yeah,
the meat,
all the jollity you give up. So that was the origins of Carnival, and as it's moved on, some people have said that it started in France. Some people have said it started in Western Africa. I know that Calypso music has followed that trail as well.
Yeah, yeah.
An actual Calypso song is written in a particular way. So you write the first line, you repeat the first line, and then you have 3 more lines, and I think it's like an 8-line verse.
Like a
and then you sing your chorus
sort of thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
And so the whole masquerade, all the old traditional carnival characters that you see have come from those traditions. And of course it's moved along the way, and as it's gone to different places it's changed a little bit, and it's been nipped and tweaked. But generically, Carnival is 2 days of freedom, expressing yourself in a free manner.
Before you give it all up.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Now you heard that from an authority. Let's hope we had no argument about this. But if there's argument, let's hear it, man. Just put it on the site, put it on carnivalnetwork.com, or just on the Facebook page, the Instagram page, see what you got in there.
Got a question for you in the audience.
Right, okay. So I've got a question there. Yeah, please read it out for me.
If you could get the UK soca community to do 3 things to help support and grow the soca scene, what would it be?
That's a wide question. The soca scene is global. I don't think you can compartmentalize it anymore. The UK artists that are here are doing their thing, and they're doing it really, really well. I think that we're in a time frame now where it's no longer, he's a UK artist, he's from Barbados, because they're all on top of the same rhythms now. They're all using. If I was to play a song and say, and for you to tell me, guess where that comes from, you wouldn't be able to do it anymore. You know, we're too mixed up. But I don't know. I think the first thing that I would do, Raymond, by the way, that's a very good question. The first thing that I would do is I would make sure that we consolidate our economy. I think that the soca community, in a similar way to the black community, needs to make sure that our money goes back to us.
It bounces a few times in the
if you don't do that, then we'll be forever hustling,
chasing funding, chasing sponsorship. You
know, if we had done that from years ago, we wouldn't be worried about Carnival.
We had partners years ago,
because we'd be able to. We'd have authority. We'd have big businessmen that be able to say, "I can back this," you know, and the government would say, "Fair dues." Right now, we haven't got that, you know, and that's what we need to change, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other questions, Richard?
Boy, I've got a slew of them. Have I got enough time?
We're out of time.
You're genuinely serious?
It's half an hour has gone. One question.
The half an hour has got, not 20 minutes.
Would you like one more question before we do the events update?
Oh, one more question. Oh man. Okay. I just wanted to. Something. We go out on something positive for sure, or something inspirational. The very best and proudest moment.
Whoa. Okay. Radio for me is my first love. Yeah. So if you were to ask me, radio, DJing in a party or DJing on a truck, I think my first love is radio. So being able to take my broadcasting to Barbados and do a live broadcast back to England, it's full of problems, by the way. Setting it up is a nightmare. But the moment that I went on there and I did it, brought a tear to my eye. So that has got to be my proudest moment. And I was fortunate enough, I was able to do them in other islands subsequent to that. But the first time I did it, my first broadcast, that was the one. So if you're talking about a proudest moment, that would be it.
God bless. And how long ago was that? That first one?
2001, I think.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
Garvey's going to join you guys.
On you come on. Brilliant. So I think we've got to do we've got to get these events out the way before we crack on.
Wicked interview, by the way. Thank you.
No worries, man.
A few quick things to just go over. Some stories on the website that we've got that I think you should check out. Recently there was the St Kitts and Nevis Carnival that was going on. There's a story on the site from Police Commissioner Ian Quealy. They had an incident-free carnival, absolutely zero trouble.
Excellent.
Wicked event.
Excellent.
That's what we want to see. So check that story out on the website. Also, we've also got an article that shows what Chris Gale got up to during that carnival as well. So have a look at that. That's a bit of a laugh. That guy is if you don't know who Chris Gale is, he's a famous cricketer.
Don't blush, baby.
He was in St Kitts and Nevis for the carnival, and wicked activity, wicked video.
He's the guy, man.
Very,
He's the
very
guy.
funny.
He's the guy.
And last but not least, there are two events that you guys should keep an eye out for that are coming up. On the 27th of January, we've got DJ Stephen coming over playing at Fire. If you don't know who that guy is, Google the name. But he's going to be playing out at Fire, so that's going to be a wicked event. And on the 4th of February, we have Skinny Banton, Short Pre, Tall Pre, and Valeen Ned coming up from Grenada for the Grenada Independence Dance. So
excellent.
Fantastic. So for those events and for more, go to the events calendar on carnivalnetwork.co.uk and get up to date on what's happening. Cool. This is Garvey Campbell, and you've been watching Carnival Network with Martin J and Rich Blacklove.
Peace.